Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Today, as promised, we're gonna be working on this Dodge Challenger from 1975. It's a Matchbox, super fast. I've showed this car in a few videos in the past, and I was asked by a subscriber to restore it. So and when I say restore, I'll probably end up changing the color and most likely the wheels, since I don't think those wheels really go with the car. I mean, I'll save the original wheels, but I think I can get better looking wheels. I do like the fact that they're both the same size. That's a nice detail there, that both wheels are the same size. Let me see if I could find same size wheels that we could put on this. But for now, let me take out the turning table here, and we're gonna drill it apart and start working on this. All right, give me a second.
This was clearly a perfectly decent living space once upon a time. It has also dug itself deep into the labyrinth of society. To do that, it draws on more than just
Alright guys, here is the car taken apart. Here's the base. Even has an arrow, let you know where is the front. Bam! Here it is. I think I saw a license plate. Let me see. I need to start recording with the macro lens. There it goes. POB. Is it? No. PDB. PDB 7. I don't know what that means. Anybody knows? Let me know in the comments. Has the same thing in the back. PDB 7. Got the casting here already tapped, as you saw. Interiors, nothing fancy. Nothing fancy here. And this thing caught my eye. I thought this part was something separate, but it turns out the whole windshield, it's riveted to that plastic part, as you see here. And it also has an arrow, so you know where it's the front. Isn't that weird? So I'm gonna clean this with warm soapy water. Take out all that dirt and put the car in paint remover. I think I've made a video. Yeah, I did make a video a long time ago on how I remove paint. Since then, I have changed my method. So what I do now is I use the clean strip gel, and I have a base or a little glass vase that I bought at the dollar store. And what I do is I empty out the gel inside the base. I tie the car with a string, and I just leave it in there 2 or 3 days, since I'm not in a hurry. And that way that clean strip is not very strong, but you know, it doesn't smell. It doesn't, if it gets in your hand, it doesn't really hurt like the other, you know, like the other kind. And that's why I use it. And plus, leaving it in there for like 2 or 3 days really takes out all those paint in the little crevices and all that. It's a lot easier to, you know, clean the casting if all the paint comes off with the paint remover. So I'm gonna get it so I can show you too. Give me a sec, guys. Here is the base. As you can see, it has one of these locking mechanisms. You could get the one that you could screw, but you know, alright, I find this one to be a lot easier. So I take this little string here, I'll tie a knot. I really don't have to do this, since I could, if I throw in the car, I could fish it out with one of my locking scissors, right? Now I usually tie it to the post for the windshield. This car doesn't have that, so I'm gonna do it right here. So I just go like this. Go around the loop. And that should be it, guys. I just throw it in there, leave the piece of cord outside, close it, move it around, make sure it's all covered in the paint remover, and that's it. I'll fish it out in 1 day, 2 days, I don't know, whenever I remember. I say so. See you in the next step. All right, guys, got the car out of the paint remover. All right, let me run it through some water, and I'll be back, guys. So you can see we have some residue here. We have some paint left over. I'm gonna take that off with a little wire brush and my Dremel, and then there is like a nasty spot here, and I'm gonna use these file set, like nail files, clean it up, and then I'm slowly gonna polish it. And to polish it, I use this brand. Again, everything I use, I'm gonna leave a link in the video description. So yeah, let me hit that with the little wire brush. Yeah, use the file to clean up those nasty areas, and we'll be back. Right, guys, as you saw, this paint is very tough. After that wire brush, and it still didn't want to come out completely. Pick this up. Right, so let's clean that area. These files, they're rougher on one side, so to me they work perfect. So you can see it already cleaned that area up. So this kit comes with 120 to 40, 180 to 40, and it had 100, 180. These work backwards. Usually sandpaper, the higher the number, the finer it is. On this is backwards. So the lower the number, the finer. So as you saw, I have this here. Doing the 100 side. Try to knock down a lot of the scratches from before. Then there's also this pad. I've only been able to find this in a kit that they sell in Walgreens. The gray is a little stronger than the pink side. As you can see, it's starting to remove those deep scratches. Whatever I can't get with this, I have to use a either a 2000 or a 3000 sandpaper with water. Yeah, so that should be good enough. The primer should be able to do the rest. Get this area right here. The primer, like I said, the primer should be able to do the rest. Let me still polish it. I find that polishing it leaves a better surface for the paint. And whenever paint you use, it ends up looking smoother. Plus it'll help remove all these little crevices. You can see it. This paint did not want to come off. I haven't had a tough to paint like that in a while. So you can see, the first time you try to polish, it does take a while, and I have the Dremel at the slowest speed. I don't want to rush it. I want this to clean as much as possible. And I will make a decision if I should have to go back and sand it or leave it as is. Right now, I can increase the speed. Alright guys, so I just got done basically polishing it. If this would have been a red line, I would have to spend a lot more time sanding. I'm telling you, a lot more time. Something like this could take hours and hours and hours. But I'm gonna use enamel paint for this. Should be good enough. I use rubbing alcohol. And basically what we're doing here is removing all that residue from the polishing solution. Yeah, those red lines, they you really have to give them a lot of time, because if you want that paint job to look good, you really have to remove all those scratches, you know. A lot of people use paint thinner for this. I don't like it. For one, paint thinners smell funny, and you run the risk of it might eat up your gloves. Alcohol does the job for me. As you can see, I have paint in those letters. I gotta take those off. So I'm gonna have to get a pick, a little teeny tiny pick, and clean that off. Look at this, all that dirt that I removed. I'll get a rag and clean it up, dry it up. Tell you what, this casting might be a good candidate for some Spectra Flame, one of the dark colors. Dark colors, they hide, they tend to hide all those scratches. It's not bad. All right, let me get a little pick and try to remove that that remaining paint. Alright guys, so as you can see, I got most of it out. I had to use red light sharp reducer and Q-tip, as you can see here, and that was the only thing that was able to get that thing out of there. That paint is really something, huh? Now you gotta dip it back in the alcohol here. Make sure we remove all that paint reducer. Wipe it off. And now I'm gonna place it in my oven at 170 degrees for like 5 or 10 minutes. And I'm gonna hit it with the flat white, use that as a primer. So I'm gonna do that and I'll be back. All right guys, I changed my mind. So right up before I was about to paint with the white, I decided to try out this color. Check it out. It's a Krylon stained glass summer green, and I really dig it. I really like how it came out. So this color is gonna be the final color. So let me get the base, because we should have done that first. Mess with the base and try out new wheels. But let me get the base, get set up here, and I'll be back. All right guys, so here's the base. I do have a video on how to remove axles from a metal base, but for Hot Wheels they use a different method here of crimping down the axle. We're going to be trying out here a few different methods, get that out, because I can see that they're not completely sealed here, so we might get lucky and it might be easy. And I also have to polish out this back end, the front, as this area right here around the tail lights should be painted the same color as the car. Still don't know if I want to do that or maybe paint it black, so not decided yet. For the wheels, I'm thinking about going with these M2. This one might be a little too wide. You can see they're even wider than the ones the car originally has. These other ones might be too skinny. I do have a video on how to use M2 wheels on a Hot Wheels or Matchbox. That's another lengthy process. I invite you to go see it. I also have here a brand new pack of green light wheels, which they work the same. And I either go with this type, make a like a dragster type of car, or this one. I really don't know. I guess I'll play around and see which one looks better. But for now, we have to take that axle out of the chassis. So let me get set up here and I'll show you how I do that. The first thing we're gonna do is try out the easy way. This is a small flat tip precision screwdriver. I'm gonna try to get in here and open this up, and as you can see, it is working. And boom, that was too easy, way too easy. Normally it's very, very difficult. I was thinking maybe I was gonna have to use the center punch. And here's a little trick that a lot of people don't know. If you take the back end here and you see I closed it, that makes it, the force makes it very hard. If you unscrew it, it makes it softer. It makes it a lot easier to use this. It's still hard for if you do it with your hand, but as you can see, at least I could push it. That's the same method I use to open up the red lines. I don't typically And there goes the cops every day. So for the red lines, I use the same method. I never use, since I think I did the first video, and I think I should make a new video about that. I take out a lot of the compression here, and it makes it a lot easier to use this tool. So yeah, that was way too easy. Let me remove the other side, and we're gonna start polishing this base. All right, guys, so I'm trying to do the back side, and this back, oh, actually the front, that's why it has the arrow, was not as easy as the back. As you can see, we did not have the same luck. Actually, I'm seeing the axle. Yes, I am. Still, I'm gonna try to separate it a little bit with the center punch here, like I mentioned before, and we'll see what happens. All right, guys, we got it out. The axle did bend a little bit. Again, we're not using it, but you can just go like this, make it straight again. So before we continue, I'm going to use one of the files to get in here and make this wider, since I have to put in here one of the piece of the valve that's gonna be where the actual axle is gonna rest, since those M2 wheels, remember the axle itself turns, not the wheel. So the wheel will turn with the axle, so we have to put a piece of little tube here, that way the car will roll. So let me make sure I get that little piece of valve cut and test fit it, but I'm not gonna glue it in just yet because I do have to polish this one first, and I'll be back. Alright, guys, check it out. I think it came out pretty good. Didn't really go crazy with it, but you put that to the side, and let's talk about the interior. So this, I want to keep chrome. The interior, I don't like it chrome. I'm gonna paint it a beige color, so I gotta cover this area here and paint it and since that's going to take a while for it to dry, I got to do it now and set it to the side. Okay. All right, guys, so you saw that I made this area bigger. I'm able to fit this little tube here, and also that's the front. We're gonna do the back first. You need to open up the side channels a little bit, again, because the axle, it's thicker. As you see, this is just a test. I'm not sure yet if I'm going to use this wheel. Let me get the casting, see how it looks. Check it out. I think they're too small and it looks way too stock. Let's try out this one. I think this one's going to be way too big. Yeah. This one definitely is way too big. I'm gonna try out the Johnny lighting. The green light wheels. See how they look. All right, guys, check it out. So I was looking online for pictures, and it seems that in the back, instead of having the paint color, it'll be black. And in the front, this area will have paint, the same paint color as the car. There's another car with black, and that's a better look in the front. So I'm gonna paint the black part, the back part, flat black, and I want to try to get some paint in that front area. So let me see how it comes out. Okay, guys, so I have my enamel flat black testers paint, and I sprayed some of the paint directly from the can to a little cup. That's really watery. I don't know if that's how you say it, so I'm gonna leave that for the end. I gotta see with my magnification glasses, and it's really not that big of an area that I have to throw paint. But I'm gonna start in the back, and from the picture I'm not gonna worry about this part down here since it's not like the real car, so you barely are gonna see it. So I'm gonna use a toothpick here, dip it, and just go all over the place. I've seen another picture where this area right here, the center, is painted the same color as the car, but I'm just gonna go all flat black, you know, and the license plate also. That way I get a lightly rub off the paint on the numbers here and the letters, and here too, and there'll be chrome. So I'm gonna do that. Guys, so here is the base. I was gonna paint just the center part white, but I didn't like how it was turning out, so I painted the whole thing white. I put it in the oven for a few seconds to speed up the process of drying. We can set this to the side now, and we'll work on the axles a little bit later. And here are the interiors. So I told you I was going to paint them beige. On these, you can pretty much tell that the original color of the plastic is black. In the event that if you want black interiors, the only thing that you have to do is put this whole thing in Clorox for a few minutes, and the Clorox is going to eat all the chrome out, and you're going to have all black. So I'm going to try to do some minor details in here, and just nothing crazy, just a little bit black, just to have a two-tone. I think it's going to look better. Okay. Alright, so got the glue. I have some baking soda. Put some baking soda here in the napkin. And basically the baking soda speeds up the process of the glue drying. So if you guys didn't know, I like to use the gel type because that way it doesn't run all over the place. You can use epoxy, the 2-part epoxy. I've used it in the past, but that takes a while for it to dry. So this is a lot quicker and basically the same as strong. So now we just gotta wait for it to completely dry. Since it's gel, it only hardens on the outside. The inside is still wet, so we gotta wait until it completely dries. But with this, I can pick it up and test to see if it's flat. Okay, all right guys, so I did the front. I can't cut the axle, but I can do that later. I could always remove the wheel on one side and make the axle shorter, but I don't want to do that yet. Wait until I have the car in the with the casting all together and see how it fits. It's not really that much, but you know, I can see now that all wheels are touching the floor. I don't have any wobbly issue here. So all now I gotta do is remove that excess baking soda with a little brush and wait for it to completely dry. Alright guys, so I cut a little piece of the axle. Now you can see we don't have any play. I recommend using the Dremel. It'll give you a nice flat cut. You could use some kind of wire cutters like this, but you're gonna have to sand down the tip. And on that side that you do cut, I always recommend a little dab of glue and make sure everything is pressed in perfectly. And always leave one side in case you want to take it apart. The bad thing about using these tires is that they don't roll smoothly because the rubber is all crazy, but nonetheless it still rolls. So for now, we're gonna put it together and unveil it. All right guys, you are seeing what we started with, and now check out the finished product. What do you guys think? I don't know about you, but I really like how it turned out, especially the front. I'm surprised how good that paint covered with the toothpick, and it does roll. It is rubbing a little up here in the front, as you can see, but nobody's gonna play with this. I can't grind out the inside a little bit, but I really like the stance it has right now. Really like how it turned out. I think this video turned out so long, we might be able to call it a movie. So there it is guys. Let me know in the comments what you think. I really liked how it turned out. Alright guys, so remember to subscribe and hit that little bell so you get notified the next time we post a video. Peace out.